Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
I'll tell you what, am I the only one who's waiting for Tracy Flick to show up in the Republican caucus?
And Matthew Broderick with a
You look like you could use a cupcake. God, what a bunch of angry, petulant children.
Yeah. And Charlie...
And it doesn't get any better, by the way, at the other end of the Capitol. We've got the Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest warship, steaming toward a combat zone, and we don't have a chief of naval operations because you've got a fetus fondler from Alabama who's decided he's going to hold everything up.
I'm sorry, did you say fetus fondler?
Israel because Rand Paul thinks COVID was a plot by Anthony Fauci.
Yes, I know. It's a whole hot mess of a part. And also, Jody and I have been talking about a lot of the stuff you've been sort of intimating on Twitter, Charlie, that you're like, oh, God, are you getting Iraq flashbacks between, Nikki Haley and Liz Cheney going,
well, not
got to fight them over there so we don't fight them over here?
There are pretty plainly some folks in the intelligence community who are spoiling for a war with Iran, which would just be catastrophic. But I'm seeing a lot of anonymous intelligence sources, quote unquote, talking about, connections between direct connections between Iran and the attacks over the weekend. Now, there's no doubt that Iran supports Hamas.
Right.
I mean, that's goes without saying almost. But I start to get really itchy when I start hearing things like anonymous intelligence sources say X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm sorry I do, but I can't help but do that. You know why? Because of Iraq.
Yeah, and you retweeted.
And before that, Kuwait. Remember the babies in the incubators?
Yeah. Yes. You retweeted, Nikki Haley says she wants the people to know that Hamas were chanting death to Israel, death to America after Saturday's attack. What happened to Israel could happen here. Iran said the easiest way to get into America is through the southern border, which is the same thing Trump, and I'm like, oh, it's shades of we have to fight them over there so we don't fight them over here.
Absolutely. We're going to start hearing about aluminum tubes any day now.
Yeah.
And balsa wood gliders spraying anthrax over the Hudson River Valley.
And you said liberal hero.
And by the way, I mean,
Charlie, just let me get a thought out. Just let me get one thought out.
What?
Just let me get one thought out, and I want to get your reaction. Liz Cheney tweeted, money is fungible. It's ludicrous to claim the Iranians can only use the $6 billion for humanitarian purposes. The Biden administration should never have given Iran access to the fund, blah, blah, blah. And you just said...
Iran doesn't have access to the fund.
I know. And you just said liberal
I don't care how fungible the money is. It's being fungible in a bank in Qatar.
Yes.
If you can prove to me that Iran is, covertly siphoning some of the money out of the bank in Qatar, fine, show me the evidence. But for now, as far as I'm concerned, it's locked up in a bank in Doha, and it has to be, the only withdrawals have to be approved by the Department of the Treasury.
Right. As you said, liberal hero Liz Cheney is back to her happy place. And we were saying she's the scorpion in that stupid scorpion and the frog story that we've heard 1,000 times. But, she's back to her neocon roots, right?
Yeah, well, she never really left. I mean, at the same time she was being a hero about Donald Trump, she was voting against, voting reforms.
Yeah. And it's all of them.
So,
you retweeted Ted Cruz. Senator Marsha Blackburn said the Biden administration just handed Iran $6 billion. And you just said lying hair do lies. Ted Cruz, and they know they're lying, Charlie. That's the thing. And so here we go again with the mainstream media. You cannot let them keep getting away with it.
And it's already solidified into right-wing gospel.
Yeah.
All the presidential candidates are saying it.
Yeah. I mean, and what do we call him? Noted fisting aficionado Josh Hawley, of course, calls for Ukraine funding to be redirected to Israel immediately.
Ow!
Somebody tweeted, we have a winner for single dumbest tweet about the Israel-Hamas war by an otherwise smart person. Pure opportunism. To use the slaughter of Israeli civilians to enable the slaughter of Ukrainians is shameful. These are what some are trying to market as anti-war Republicans. It is kind of a hot mess of contradictions over there, isn't it?
Well, you got Marco Rubio, who just wants to carpet bomb Gaza.
Yeah.
He wants to kill everybody.
Yeah.
He went on CNN and talked about eradicating.
Yeah. I mean,
and the whole southern border thing. You can say what you want about the border patrol, but I think if Hamas was trying to smuggle 3,000 rockets into the United States, they'd probably get caught.
Yeah. We had a Palestinian American woman call in a little while ago, Charlie, in tears. As a lot of decent people are with this whole thing going on. And, we were saying that's where, you've got to blame where the blame lies. Let's start with Hamas, because first of all, they knew that Israel was going to have a massive retaliation. They don't care that people get killed in Gaza. I mean, that's what's. I was saying both sides deserve better leaders. Israelis deserve a way better leader than Netanyahu.
I mean, I think Benjamin Netanyahu's career is the best argument against a parliamentary system of government that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because he can, cobble a ruling coalition out of a bunch of religious nuts. No matter how corrupt he's proven to be, he's still in charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So millions of people, hundreds of thousands of Israelis in the streets night after night after night, protesting against his government, and he's still in charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he's running a war.
Yeah. It's a cautionary tale for us in 2024, putting a corrupt thug back in power. Charlie, what do you think is going to happen with this speaker thing? I mean, do you think because of these events there's a chance Kevin McCarthy slimes his way back in?
I think there's a better chance of that today than there was 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah. I mean, Jim Jordan is out there saying now he's going to completely defund any processing of any new migrants. Completely. He's not going to pay for it anymore, which means we're going to go back to people in cages and outdoor detention camps.
Yeah. As somebody said,
that's part of his pitch to be the next speaker, and unless he gets that, he's going to shut the government down.
Yeah.
So we're back to hostage taking again.
As somebody said, he's not for legislating. He's for screaming in his shirt sleeves on Fox. That's what he's.
I mean, you're exactly right, and then the other guy is David Duke without the baggage. And by the way, he's not without all the baggage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a nice little carry-on there.
Yeah. I mean, I get the whole Ohio State thing, but I just to more recent events. I mean, this CNN thing. Jim Jordan was a ringleader in Trump's efforts to illegally remain in power after losing the election, according to a new CNN analysis. Shows Jordan called on Trump not to concede in the wake of his loss, promoted assorted debunked conspiracy theories about the election being stolen, even pushed a fringe legal theory about how Pence could just declare Trump the winner, including among many conspiracy theories pushed by Jordan, the false claims about Georgia election workers Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman that recently, obviously, Rudy Giuliani just lost that defamation suit. False claims about Democrats barring Republican poll workers in Pennsylvania. Bogus claims about dead people being registered to vote in multiple states. Jordan's appearances on right-wing and far right-wing news outlets and his social media account were a near constant drumbeat of disinformation up until January 6th, the report concludes. I guess only in this moment in history could he be on the precipice of becoming Speaker of the House.
He's up to his Van Heusen button down in that.
All right, that and Fetus Fondler, we award you every point this morning, Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I like to thank the Academy for this honor.
All right,
and all the little people who made it possible.
That's me. All right.
All the wee folk who made it possible.
All right. Love you, Charlie Pierce. See you next week.
Oh, I'm leaving now. Goodbye.
Oh, hi. I'm here with sexy liberal John Fugelsang wearing my Los Angeles sexy liberal shirt. Oh my God, we have an LA show coming up October 21st, but how else could you see it, John?
How else could you see it? I'm so glad you asked. For a limited time, you can see the show live via pay-per-view if you go to sexyliberal.com. All the laughs, you'll miss nothing.
I can stream it from all around the world?
All around the world, in your car, while you're driving. Watch it at home.
Sexyliberal.com, yeah.